Thank you. And to help create excitement for the new series, and to give you some understanding as to where we're going with the characters and storyline, we've created a short trailer that we think embodies the heart of the series. Check it out. Okay, so look for the episodes to hit Disney.com and Disney on YouTube this fall. So hopefully some of you have had a chance this week to visit the park and go on one of our most famous and beloved attractions, It's a Small World. Based on this iconic attraction, we're premiering an animated series which follows a hot air balloon as it befriends a group of culturally diverse children and embarks on an unforgettable adventure across the globe. We're also very excited to announce today that Richard Sherman, the composer of the original music we have enjoyed for decades, and who performed here just last night, has composed new music exclusively for this digital series. And now we'd like to play you Richard's first live performance of the series theme song, accompanied by a concept art animatic of the show's intro. Let's take a look.
Yeah, okay. So it appears, and then you hear the father. Truman's voice. Hooray, hooray, we're on a merry way, on a magic highway, flying through the sky, and oh, it's grand to know we're bound to land in some exotic place where we'll come face to face with sights and sounds and wonders galore, people and places we've never seen before. So hooray, hooray, we're on a merry way, and when a big balloon descends in new exotic lands, we'll soon be shaking hands and making many brand new friends.
It's the art that you guys afforded us to go through.
Okay, so at Disney Interactive, we're constantly looking for new ways to bring you closer to the Disney characters and stories that you love. And sometimes there are those rare moments when technology, art, and content all converge perfectly to create an experience that is entirely new and never possible before. This is one of those moments. Disney Animated is a new app that just launched this past Thursday and is the result of a special collaborative effort among Disney Interactive, Walt Disney Animation Studios, Disney Publishing, and the very successful premium app developer, TouchPress. Using the technology of the iPad, Disney Animated puts the magic of animation at your fingertips. The app takes you inside the creative process of animation and gets you closer than we ever dreamed possible to the actual art and tools used to create our films. With Animated, you can explore all 53 Disney animated films, from Snow White to the upcoming feature Frozen, through multiple modes and interactive experiences. You'll get access to an astonishing amount of content, including storyboards, clips, art, sound, images, and special interviews, all presented in a way to provide you a comprehensive and truly captivating new digital experience. Many of the artifacts you see in this app are currently in the Studio Archives department in Burbank under lock and key. And this type of interactive access is a very special thing. We also included many interactive workshops so people can try their hand at animating and learn by using the actual tools and technologies our animators currently use to produce all of your favorite movies. We hope that by granting access like this, we can inspire a whole new generation of animators to make the films that will entertain us in the future. In the short time since launch, Animated has already captured the hearts of many fans and press who are raving about the digital experience. We're also very excited to see that it's currently ranked as a top app in the App Store charts and was chosen by Apple as the Editor's Choice application in both the US and the UK. But it's obviously far more exciting to see it than to talk about it. So with that, I want to bring up Teo Gray, the founder of TouchPress, and co-author of this amazing product, to show us what it offers. Teo?
They told me my iPad had gone to sleep and I panicked. So it's great to be here. Animation is a topic about which so much has been written and said. Literally thousands of books, documentaries, DVD extras, museum exhibits. It's intimidating. Like, who are we to try to add to that legacy, to try to tell the story of Disney animation again in a different way? So when Disney came to us and wanted to do some kind of an app, we did what we always do at TouchPress, which is we tried to rethink from the ground up how ought one to tell this story in the modern world of interactive media and tablets. And what should you do if that's the medium that you're communicating in? And it turns out that animation is actually a topic that works really well. It's almost crying out for this sort of way of telling stories. Because animation is about pictures that move. That's what it's about. And you can do that in this form. So I want to show you the app. Get up the home page here. This is the home page of Disney Animated. And you can see there's two main sections to the app. Across the top, you have the story of how animated movies are made. And along the bottom, you have a set of interactive experiences that let you get sort of hands-on in that world. Let's look at the story part first. Now, if you ask anybody at Disney, where does a Disney movie come from? They'll always tell you it starts with a story. It starts with a story. It's the same answer to everybody. And so, you know, that's what we figured we got our app better start with a story too. So, chapter about stories. And then we go through the stages of production: visual development, character, layout and backgrounds. Eventually you get to animation. I was surprised how long it takes before you actually get to doing animation. Visual effects all the way through the final process of putting together a movie and releasing it. Each of these is a chapter. Let's go look at the chapter on characters. So this is the page that you might see in any print book about Disney animation. And there's a problem, which is that these pictures are not moving. These should be moving. They're all scenes, clips out of animated films. So what you can do here is you can touch it.
Oh, cool.
And we should be here. There we go. This is what you should be seeing when you're reading about animation. You should be seeing the actual animation. Let's go to the next page here. You should be seeing that not just for a few of the clips. You should be seeing it for all of them. So on this page, every single thing on here is a little clip. I won't let them all play because some of them are long, some are short. Every single thing. I can touch it and it moves.
Anything happens to this, I'm gonna be lost. Peter Pan.
We go on to the next page. Now, of course, not everything to do with animation is a clip. Some things are biz dev art, things like that. This is an example of something that I find particularly fascinating. This is an animation maquette. Used as reference by the animators to draw from different angles. These things are locked up in the Animation Research Library, and you can't get to these things. Absolutely nobody can touch these things other than the curators with white gloves. You just can't see them. Unless you have this app, in which case you can take your finger and swipe this thing and turn it as if you were holding it in your hand. It was quite an ordeal to get them to agree to let us photograph these things this way. And there's a bunch of them in the app. So that's kind of the idea, is that there's different sorts of things in this book, and we let you interact with each one of them in a way that makes the most sense for that kind of material. I'm going to go through here. I want to get to a particular page, partly to show you a certain thing on that page, and partly just because I want to kind of blow your mind about how much is in this book. It just keeps going. There's stuff from Frozen that you haven't seen anywhere. There's stuff that you don't see anywhere else. There's just a lot of stuff. And remember, that all moves. Okay, here's the page I wanted to get to. This is the beautiful background paintings from some of the early movies. Any one of these could be in an art museum. What's the best way that how should you interact with this thing? Like if you had this painting, this is an Ivan Earl background from Sleeping Beauty. If this was in your living room, what would you do with it? You might sell it and retire. But if you didn't want to do that, you might look at it. You might walk up to it. You might lean in a little bit. You might get out a magnifying glass. And so what you can do here in the app is you can get right up to it. You can see the individual brush strokes. Very, very high resolution scan. Higher quality, higher resolution has ever been available anywhere. We have that for a bunch of these classic, beautiful backgrounds, as well as other kinds of visual development art. So I've shown you everything except how we present actual animation. Let's keep going here. We'll get to the chapter on animation. And I'll show you this clip. So this is a scene from Lion King. When you watch this as you're watching the movie, you see it as finished work. You see this piece of video that streams out. But that's not really how animators think about this stuff. They think about it in terms of a series of images that need to work together and that came from someplace, that were created in some way. So we let you peel back those layers. I can slide my finger down here, and I'm sliding here between the finished cells, the story panels, the cleanup animation. I can go back and forth. I can see what the relationship is between the cleanup frames and the final cells. This is something you've never been able to do. Not even anybody at Disney has been able to examine and study their work this way. And it makes you feel, it makes you feel closer to the people who made this in a way that's difficult to describe. You really kind of have to try it for yourself. So that's the story portion of the app. Let me switch gears a little bit here and tell you about the interactive experiences. One of my favorites is from Frozen. If I touch it hard enough. So this is as simple as it gets. It's basically a blank screen. And there's one thing you can do, you can swipe it with your finger. And when you do that, you get a flurry of snow. So this is a visual effects, a particle system simulation. It's based on the same algorithms, the same math, the same techniques as are used in creating this effect in the upcoming movie Frozen. There's only 100,000 particles of snow here instead of a couple million in the movie, but it's happening in real time, and you're able to art direct this effect with your finger in exactly the same way that the artists working on the movie art direct the special effect that's used in the movie. And because this is an app that's about learning, we explain how this is done, what the algorithms, the techniques are behind it. And you can read about that and learn how it works. So this is sort of putting you behind the scenes, letting you get your hands on a tool that's used in the production of the movie. Probably the ultimate example of that we have in here is this animation workshop. So this is the genuine article. This is the actual Vanellope, by which I mean it is a CG model derived directly from the model used in the movie. It's rigged and it's controllable. I can zoom in. I can touch one of the control points if I can see it. I can move the joints around. This is designed to work not like a video game, but like the animation software that's used in producing these movies. So it's very flexible, it's completely open-ended, you can do anything you want. And it's keyframe animation, so along the bottom you'll see a set of key poses that have been laid out in this example. If I slide my finger sideways here, controls, you'll see it plays out that piece of animation. I can go back and forth between each of the key frames. And if I click play, it will now play out this animation. Because this is a real model, not a canned video, I can do that from any angle. I can watch what's happening from behind. And perhaps most remarkably, I can actually share this video. I can export it as a movie file, post it to Facebook, Twitter, email, YouTube. We are amazed. Within less than 24 hours of releasing this app, there was a video that showed up on YouTube that was better than anything I had seen done with this tool. And I don't know who did it. If it was one of you guys, let me know, because it was amazing. That's the first, you've never been able to take a Disney character like this, tell stories with it, and share it with your friends. You can even send a file that your friends, if they have this app, can open in the app and work on your animation and modify it and add to it. So as you can see, this is a big and comprehensive app. There's a lot of material in here. And I want to just go a little sort of trip down the rabbit hole. What do I mean by comprehensive? One of the sections here is called the timeline. This is the complete filmography of the Walt Disney Animation Studios division from Snow White through Frozen. And let's start zooming in, see how far we can go. So we can start zooming. You'll see first things, a few more movies show up that didn't fit earlier. Now we're down to seeing all the separate movies. Let's pick one, touch this. We get a little film card of this movie. We have a card for each movie. It's got the poster, the original movie poster, plot synopsis, and it's got these guys walking along. Go down a little bit. So here are the pictures of the major characters in this movie. But that would really not be good enough. These are not pictures. Each one of these is an animated clip.
When the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world.
So every major character in every movie ever made by Walt Disney Animation Studios, we have a walking, talking, singing, dancing clip where the character, kind of shows off who they are and what they're all about. That's pretty comprehensive. Let's keep going. A little lower, we have iTunes links for all the feature songs. So if you have your favorite songs, they're all collected here in a convenient way. You can get them into your iTunes library. That's pretty cool. And trailers for most of the movies. And then we have this little strip here at the bottom, these little sort of bar of colors along the very bottom, which you might almost miss. This is what we call the color map. And it shows the sequence of predominant colors as they occur throughout the movie from start to finish. And it kind of lets you see what's going on, sort of what mood is going on in a given part of the movie by the colors. If they're bright, happy colors, probably a bright, happy scene. If it's dark and maybe that's a scary scene or something. Like for example, if at the end of Lion King, there's a big fire, and then in the battle, and then it's dark and it's night, and then suddenly it's happy again. You can see that if you look towards the end, right before the black of the credits. You see red and then dark and then bright. And if this isn't clear enough, you can touch the color map and you can see a thumbnail, which I can swipe through here. So here I'm seeing the fire and then the dark and then happy, 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 everybody's good, and we're to the credits. So I'm sweeping through the entire movie here. This is the whole thing. Now it's thumbnails, and there's no sound, but it's basically the whole movie. We have this color bar for every movie, every animated feature film made by Walt Disney Animation Studios. We can put them together in one page. So, it's my favorite feature too. So this is it. This is everything. This is 30 million man-hours of work, something like that. From Snow White at the top, to Wreck-It Ralph at the bottom. Of course, we can't put Frozen in yet because they haven't finished the movie. You can't make a color bar until they finish the movie. And I can touch this anywhere. I can go forwards and backwards through history. I can go left and right through movies. So I can see, I love this, I can see everything. So when I say comprehensive, that's what I mean by comprehensive. That's one feature, one of the interactives out of the half a dozen that is itself half of this app. This is a comprehensive app. That's what it's about. Thank you very much. That's what I can
Teo, Jimmy, thank you so much for that last 45 minutes of content. That stuff, I think everyone agrees here, that is really awesome. Now, to close out this event, we are going to bring you Disney Infinity. We think it's the perfect crescendo for our day because, as we discussed earlier, it's not only the most ambitious creative initiative we've ever undertaken in this division, it's also a project that captures Disney magic and innovation and takes it to an entirely new level. We're going to share a lot of information right now about Disney Infinity, and once you see this product, I think you will agree it lives up to the pioneering heritage of this great company. I think John Lasseter said it almost that well when he said how exciting it is to have this inventive platform Infinity, where the most fun thing in the game is for kids to be creative and to build. So, okay, before we dive into the details of the game, I want to share a bit about the backstory behind Disney Infinity. When we started this process, we wanted to push ourselves to the max and do something that had never been done before, something that only Disney could do, something that would delight Disney fans of any age, and something that would improve with and stand the test of time. We set out to empower you to take control and expand existing Disney and Pixar worlds. But then we took it one step further by allowing you to bring characters you love into one world where they play together. We wanted to capture that pure sense of freedom and joy when a child, or the child in all of us, plays with their physical toys on the bedroom floor, bounded only by their own creativity and storytelling, just like Andy from Toy Story. To do this, we would need to create a world without limits, where the answer to the question, can I do that, is simply yes. Today, we want to show you this world and how it came to life. We have several new announcements today, including a lot of reveals that no one outside the company has ever seen. But for that, I'd like to invite two of the real design and development heroes to the stage. Please welcome John Blackburn, who is Vice President and General Manager of Avalanche, the game studio behind Disney Infinity, and John Vignoki, the game's executive producer.
Holy cow, look at that. Man, I can't even believe how many people are here. We've been working on this for like 3 years. We've been waiting to show everybody all this stuff we've been making.
Yeah, we actually took a bet whether or not this arena was going to be full, and it looks like it's pretty full.
And I was betting. All right,
Thanks to you guys.
Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this. We've got a lot of cool stuff here to show you today. We're gonna have John walk you through some of the early stuff that's pretty simple, and then we're gonna get into a lot of cool new content.
Yeah. So for those of you guys that don't know what Infinity is, hopefully it's not a lot of you, but so a week from today, starter pack goes out. Can you believe it? Yes. Starter pack is out. Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii, Wii U, DS. Captain Jack Sparrow, Sully, and Mr. Incredible will be available inside of that starter pack. You're also going to get a playset piece, which gives you access to their 3 worlds. Now, kind of like in Tron, you're going to take one of these figures and put them down on the Infinity base, and that's going to bring the character to the digital world of Infinity. Now, that starter set comes with the Pirates of the Caribbean playset, Monsters University, and Incredibles. And the one key thing is that these are open world games. These aren't linear dungeon crawlers. These are true open world games where you can go wherever you want to. It's totally up to you how you play. Now what's fun is that there's a ton of content inside of these that you can then bring together inside of the toy box mode. And the toy box mode is so much fun because for the first time ever, you guys get to be the Disney storytellers.
So what we want to do first is go through a few of the different play sets that we've already announced right now. So we're going to start off with Monsters. So one of the coolest things about this job that we all really enjoy on the development team is we get to work with some of the best storytellers in and across the Disney company. We get to go in, work with them, create stories that actually add to the world, that enhance this and show you a little bit more about what each one of those worlds is like. So particularly within Monsters, we were able to work with Dan Scammell and Kelsey. We went in and took a little slice out of the film where there's Archie, the mascot from Fear Tech, exploded that into a whole new situation where there's a rivalry between these 2 schools and allow you to go ahead and play through that and play as your favorite scarers within the Monsters world.
So just like Monsters University, the Pirates of the Caribbean playset also features a brand new original story starring Captain Jack Sparrow, Barbossa, and Davy Jones. Now, these 3 guys are out sailing the Caribbean looking for what's called the Kraken's Bane, which is an actual toy you'll be able to install on your ship to control and summon the Kraken whenever you want to.
So, the next piece then is Incredibles. Now, Incredibles is one that was near and dear to my own heart. I've been wanting this for a long time. I love this movie, but I really love it because of the gameplay that it brings to this. We have a great combat system that we've been able to put in here. You are a superhero inside of Metroville. From a story perspective, we're able to create a new, kind of slightly different ending to the story where you get to go through and defeat Syndrome. Now, the thing that's cool about this is we were able to go back in the archive, and if any of you have actually seen on the DVD at the end of it where there's all of these backstories and there's these cool villains that the film team came up with, we were able to bring a few of those villains to life and let you defeat those guys too.
It's awesome, yeah. And it's, to John's point, I mean, that's one of the things that we're trying to do with Infinity is expand the fiction, expand the stories. And we've actually done that also with, if you roll the next slide, the Lone Ranger playset. So this is a brand new adventure. There are some Lone Ranger fans, and they're great. Brand new adventure starring Lone Ranger and Tonto, and it's a total blast because you've got horses and you've got trains, and it's set in the Old West. I mean, who didn't dress up as a cowboy growing up? Now you can have a brand new adventure with these great characters inside of the Lone Ranger playset.
So the last place that we've already announced that we're going to go over is Cars. You know, in Cars we've got all the gang, whoop, Cars, yeah, we've got Disney fans. From both the first film and the second film. We take all of our friends from the international scene, we invite them back into Radiator Springs, you create new racetracks, you put in a whole new stunt system for this one. So when you're expanding the story here,